The National Football League has some of the best athletes in the world because not only do you have to be fast, you got to be big, you got to be tough, you got to be strong, you got to be everything, man. And the Minnesota Vikings, of course, have the elite of the elite athletes because we're the best football team in the world. Woo! That's right, man. But we also want to know which Vikings players would have succeeded in other sports. Now, I'm not saying that, hey, this player is going to go to the NBA right now today. I'm talking about from birth. If another sport was this other player's primary number one sport, would they have succeeded? And we're going to take a stab because I got some thoughts and I've had some pushback. And it got me thinking because Justin Jefferson is down in Brazil. He's at a flamenco match right now. He's rooting them on. That's right. Hey, yeah, Flamengo would have won the Club World Cup a couple years ago, except someone beat them. Except I forget which team beat Flamenco in the Club World Cup a couple years ago. Kind of crazy, man. Anyways, but we're going to run down. We got a fistful of Vikings players, and we're going to talk about the sports that they could have succeeded in, would have succeeded in. So first off, Justin Jefferson, soccer. Now, I put this out on the socials, and people got mad. People got, like, viscerally mad, and it was mainly non-Americans. They're just like, oh, you don't know, mate. You don't know anything about football proper, right? So, again, my entire premise was Justin Jefferson, all 6'2", 210 of him. If he played soccer, or what the rest of the world calls football, or football, from birth, or was in a soccer playing culture, how would he have not succeeded? Because he's got the leaping ability, he's got speed, he's got quickness, he's got change of direction, he's got great field vision, he's got great agility, and if he grew up with a ball stuck to his foot, he would have been great. He would have been dynamic, and also his competitive spirit. You're telling me that. So you're telling me that Justin Jefferson, if he was plopped into Argentina or Brazil or wherever and played soccer from birth, that he wouldn't be able to compete with 5'7" midfielders from Leeds or Sunderland. Like, you're telling me that, please, child, please. So again, the entire premise is from birth, and this player was absolutely absorbed into the culture of the sport. I think Jefferson would be world class. I think Jefferson, given his size and speed and open field ability, I mean, he'd probably be a wing. It would probably be like our guy Mo Salah, Jefferson running down the wing, that whole thing. So I firmly believe that, and I will go down with the ship. I will say that Jefferson would be that dude. Next up, Kirk Cousins, baseball. I bet you Kirk was actually pretty solid in baseball. Yeah, because given the arm, and also, doesn't Kirk just look like a middle reliever? By the way, this is probably one of my worst Photoshops, but it's late and I don't care. But doesn't Kirk just have the demeanor of like a middle reliever? A guy that's going to come in, he's going to get paid $10-15 million a year, pitch half an inning, and then just go from there. Or, sorry, 2/3 of an inning. Can't really pitch half an inning, but you know what I'm saying? Next up, so two in the same sport, King Kene and Wangu, as well as Brian Asawa. Rugby 7. Now, Rugby 7s is different than rugby, where Rugby 7s, Rugby 7s is a lot of fun. And I feel like if it was marketed properly, it could become a legitimate sport here in the United States. Now, it's spreading, it's in the Olympics and all that stuff, but, I mean, Rugby 7, it combines the speed and violence of football, which, let's be honest, that's what people like. Also, shorter games, and you can play several games during a day, run a full tournament, but Rugby 7s is a lot of fun. I'm not going to go check out some clips. I think you'll actually get into it, but I've always thought, so I said this years ago, like, I always thought Cordero would be phenomenal in Rugby 7s as like a wing. But give me a guy like Brian Asamoah, or give me a guy, probably not Josh Oliver. He's too tall. He's too tall for him. But give me a guy like Brian Asamoah or Ivan Pace Jr. as a Rugby 7s fullback. I mean, that would be really, really good. Speaking of Josh Oliver, so him and Brian O'Neill, basketball. They're playing basketball because Josh Oliver's 6'7" if he's an inch, and he's 270. So that's a solid power forward playing the 4 spot. Brian O'Neill, I'm pretty sure he was a pretty accomplished high school basketball player, back in the day as well. Brian O'Neill, 6'7", 6'6", getting things done, 300 plus pounds, just going hard in the paint. Like, I could see Josh Oliver being a Charles Oakley type enforcer, power forward, just working the floor. Could see that, man. Next up, so Kyrus Tonga, the pride of Utah. Oh, sorry, BYU, is born in Utah. But rugby, so legitimate, like full-on rugby, like in the scrum as a hooker or a prop, just completely owning that middle of the field. I could see that, man. So I was gonna say which guys would be good at sumo wrestling. Now, initially I was like Bradbury, but sumo wrestling's all about anchor, not so much. I know a lot of people were going to say Jackie Chen, and yes, I'm one of the few people who will be allowed to make that joke, but nah. But yeah, Kyrus Tonga would be good if they allowed non-Japanese to like move up the pyramid in terms of sumo wrestling, but that's a whole to do. Anyways, next up, quarterback Kalon Barnes. Yeah, track. We know that. Run a 4.23 40 at the combine, second fastest out there. I could see that. And if you got track, you have to have field. So CJ Ham, Chris Reed. I mean, is it discus or shot? I know that both of them are renowned, and both of them competed against each other in college. I think Chris Reed got the better of that. But when CJ Ham was at Augustana and Chris Reed was at Mankato State University Community College, yeah, they're both very dynamic in the field portion of that. Daniil Hunter, so I got two. Number one, Daniil in MMA. Now, could Daniil slim down to 225? I think that he certainly could. Or hell, just have a super ultra heavyweight division. Like, have Daniil fight Brock Lesnar. That would be so good, man. But, I mean, again, if Daniil was put into a fighting culture, if you put Daniil in Brazil, you put Daniil in Thailand, you put Daniil wherever, and I mean, given his size, I mean, you're 6'5", you're 260, and given his reach, and man, that would be fan-freaking-tastic. Also, Daniil, driver. So Daniil and Kendricks are really into cars. Daniil, particularly F1 from his socials. So yeah, I could see that, but the drawback is that he might be too tall and perhaps too heavy to be a legitimate professional driver. So it's almost like jockeys because, yeah, every ounce does count in terms of car racing. But Harrison Smith, golfer, I guess, although he does have the hair to play hockey, which is the only reason we picked Nick Muse to play hockey, because I'm pretty sure Nick Muse grew up in North Carolina, where they do not have ice. Well, they have ice, but only for iced tea. So there's no hockey there, whatever. But he's got the hair. But Harrison Smith actually is a pretty decent golfer. Also, do you know he's left-handed golfing? I don't know if he's left-handed, but anyways. And lastly, Ryan Wright, poker. I fully understand that poker is not a sport, it's more of an activity, but I could see Ryan Wright doing that where, I don't know, like he doesn't get rattled, like he's cool under pressure. He does have the occasional punt, which, I don't know, if you played No Limit tournaments, like I have, yeah, you have a punt every now and then. But I could see Ryan Wright. Plus, Ryan Wright, he's a professional athlete, but he doesn't have the most chiseled physique in the world. Like, no one's going to confuse him for Daniil Hunter with a shirt off. And, poker players generally carry a couple extra around the midsection. But, hey, one of us. Absolutely one of us, man. But that's it. Let's take a stab in the dark on which Vikings would be good at other sports. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skol, production value.